No, withdrawing is no option. Again, this is the largest, fastest growing market in the world. The next 10 years, China's going to represent 35% of global growth. In chemistry, it's even more pronounced with 60%. So if you withdraw, you're pretty much not at the table. You're going to be eventually on the menu. So in a way, it is very important to realize, yes, there are lots of headwinds. There's human rights discussions back home in Europe, rightfully being discussed. At the same time, you have a market which in its size and the speed is simply not to be disregarded. And that makes it so dicey and difficult for companies, because now it's a political economy here where you really don't want to speak up sometimes. At the same time, you have the parliament back home breathing down the neck. You have NGOs, you have capital markets. Many times now I see companies between a rock and a hard place, which is something we're not used to here in China.
And yet, Joerg, it was a countryman of yours, one of the CEOs of one of the biggest companies in Germany, who told Jeff Carr and I in Davos last year that actually we need to have more innovation in Europe. We need to stop having a lot of our supply chains going out to places like China, like broader Southeast Asia or broader Asia and the United States and Israel. We need to bring innovation back home as well. Can I add to that? Perhaps we need to shorten our supply chains here in Europe as well, so that we don't have the kind of problems that are being exhibited now.
Well, that's a tricky one, because at the same time, if you want to disengage from China, or you actually want to onshore investment from China into the European Union, that comes at a cost, and our customers willing to pay for that. Besides that, because of the size and the speed of development here, the demand story basically drives innovation, because you have very demanding customers over here that, of course, drives you to come up with better products. Back home in the European market, it's more stable, it's less demanding in many ways. So there has to be a decision among policymakers in order to focus, I don't know, on artificial intelligence, on batteries, on this kind of future technologies, and create a demand story back home, and then sort of try to get companies to engage stronger. Disengagement from China will not solve our problem. We have to get a stronger industrial policy back home in order to make sure that we have everything that we need in Europe when it comes to development of future technologies.